Hey everyone, this is Hope from Pros Before Bros, and I look like a hot mess. Yeah, and I'm filming in a different location, so I'm in my house obviously, but I'm inside my bedroom right now because for some reason the second room that I usually film in is hot as hell. It's ridiculous, and I just can't deal. So I'm inside our bedroom and it's nice and cool and comfortable and my puppies are in here so they're sleeping right now. But they might get a little rambunctious and you might get a sneak peek of one of them. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully they don't bark. And I'm also in my super duper comfy chair. This is like my absolutely favorite chair in the whole house. But anyways, I'm here to talk about Contemporary-A-Thon. So yeah, I was back and forth on this. As you guys know, Friday I posted a video, said, yeah, I totally think I'm going to do a book-a-thon. And then by the end of the video, I'm like, I'm not so sure. It said commitment, and I just dropped something or other down on my floor, and I just don't want to deal with it right now. It's a commitment, blah, 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 blah. Then on Saturday morning, I was like, yes, I'm totally going to do it. And then Saturday afternoon, I was like, I still have to pick out TBR. So it was like back and forth. And then finally this afternoon, I'm like, just the hell with it. I'm going to do it. And that's that. End of story. So I just got back from scratch at Sam's Club. And I got my Contemporary-A-Thon kit. Let me show you guys what my starter pack is, because I'm sure you guys are going to love it. So I got myself a cozy blankie. Guys, if you have a Sam's Club membership, these blankets are like super duper soft and just amazing. They were my favorite color, and they were only $14.98. So I got myself a big blankie, and this blanket is just for me. So Bucky, Moose, my dachshunds that think they own the house. This isn't yours, this is mommy's. Let's just be real. They're probably going to use it. I just know, I know them. They take ownership and everything. The second thing that I got that I'm sure you guys are going to love is, it's TMI, my period essentials, because I think I'm about to start. Annoying. And of course, it's the week of Contemporary-A-Thon, so it's just frustrating. I mean, reading and having cramps, it's just a hot mess. Of course, I got my lovely Coke Zero here, and another thing I got that wasn't at Sam's Club, I'm going to get you guys a little bit of insider good here, is this beautiful, fancy, trying to get it fixed for you guys, light. It's a book light, but it has two light things that you can use. Let's fix that. Okay. You guys can see it. It's got 4 settings. So it's like dim, average, moderate, and then like, whoo, headlights. So it's got 2 of those little doohickeys and a little book clip. I saw this on somebody else's YouTube, and I can't remember who the person was. And I thought that is such a great idea, because usually I like to read in bed when my husband's asleep. So I will not be, no longer annoying him with my big light. So click up here. Unfortunately, I forgot to go get the AAA batteries. It takes about 3 AAA batteries, so I'm going to get those tonight. But I got this on Amazon for like $8. If you have Prime, free shipping. And it also has a USB plug, so you can plug them in and recharge as you go. So that's my Contemporary-A-Thon starter pack. Exclusively, or not so exclusively, at Sam's Club, but whatever. But let's talk about the books. So, as you guys know, I've been telling you guys that my schedule has been just a little bit crazy. It's kind of honestly been a shit show lately, because at work, I usually work 9 to 10 hours a day. Most days, if I'm lucky, I do get a 30-minute lunch. Lately, it's been more like 15 minutes because I've just had so many things happening that had to get done. So, yeah, that all just kind of went out the window. So I haven't been able to sit down and actually read a book and enjoy myself and relax. So I can't make guarantees I'm going to read all these books, but I'm certainly going to give it a try. We're going to go ahead and go over the challenges real quick, though. So there are 7 challenges to round 5 of Contemporary-A-Thon. The first challenge is read a 2019 release. Second is read a contemporary with yellow on the cover. Third is read a diverse contemporary, and in parentheses I put aim to read something outside your own experience. I like that. 4, read a contemporary with an illustrated cover. 5, read a dark, hard-hitting contemporary. And then 6 is read a contemporary with a plant on the cover or flowers. Any sort of biological living plant situation, I suppose. And then 7 is read a contemporary that is beloved by a member of our book community, and shout out to the creator. So I love all of these challenges. So yeah, let me talk about the book that I'm most definitely going to read for Contemporary-A-Thon that covers all 7 challenges. And this is going to be my shout out to Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads. Hi, Chelsea. Her books, it's like every time she talks about a book that she loves, I have to go out and get it. She's the reason why I have many awkward conversations with my husbands. I have multiple husbands now. My husband, I have one, not plural. She's the reason why I have a multitude of conversations with my husband. There we go. That sounds better. About purchases on our bank account each month. It's like we always have this conversation. Did you buy another book? Yeah, I did. What about the first 100 books you bought a couple weeks ago? I haven't read them yet, but Chelsea says this is a great book and I have to read it. So it always ends up like that. Thankfully, he's cool. But anyways, this is the book that she recommended and also said that covers all 7 of the challenges. So if you are like me and you have a very crazy schedule, this book might be right up your alley. The book is The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. It looks like this. I got my copy off of Amazon, but most bookstores are carrying it. I did see that my local bookstore, Joseph Beth, has been carrying it, and actually a lot of people are giving it rave reviews at Joseph Beth. So I am really looking forward to this. Chelsea absolutely adored this book. She talked about it, I believe, a few months ago. I think it was around the springtime she discussed it, but it covers all 7 challenges. And like I said, Chelsea Darling Reads is the inspiration as to why I'm going to read this book. I'm going to put her content below, her YouTube channel, linky thingy below. So if you haven't checked out Chelsea, please do. She's one of my favorites. So yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think. Now, here's where it's going to get a little bit complicated. So I definitely am going to make an effort to finish this book so I can do all 7 of the challenges. Now, I'm one of those people, I'm a go-getter. I think that's the Asian part of me because I'm always trying to do more than maybe I should allow myself to do. Maybe I should kind of take a break on myself a little bit. But I want to try to go big or go home, right? Oh, my dog's trying to push. Husband?
Yeah.
Can you help?
Moose, Bart, come here.
My dog's going insane and trying to push over my my camera. So I have you guys set up on a TV stand, and it's actually in front of my bed, and my husband, is sitting on my bed, and my dog is like ruffling under the covers trying to get over here. So that's my crazy life. But anyways, what was I saying? So I'm going to try to go big or go home with this and read more books than just The Flat Share if I possibly can. I'm currently doing 2 other books on the side that's not related with anything contemporary. So I will be kind of jumping through a lot of books. So you guys could take this as a recommendation, maybe, um, because I might read at least one or two of the ones I'm showing you, but otherwise, take them as recommendations if you like. So the first book I'm thinking about reading is Well Met, and it actually meets the challenge of illustrated cover and also the plant. So there is this beautiful little flower crown on our character, and it's an illustrated cover. And it actually was released in 2019. It was released back in August. So you have three challenges you could cover with this book. Um, and I haven't gone into much detail about it. I don't think it's hard hitting. I think it's just one of those cutesy romances. But it follows the storyline of a girl who um, is volunteering essentially for her niece's Renaissance Festival. And she happens to meet her niece's teacher. And it's like a love to, wait, no, backwards, hate to love relationship development. I've been hearing so many people talking about this on the Book of the Month platform on Facebook. If you are a Book of the Month person, I definitely recommend checking out the groups on Facebook because they have so many wonderful groups. And sometimes you'll get sneak peeks of what the books are going to be a little bit earlier before it's released. All that fun stuff. It's great. But so many people are talking about this book and how much they love it. And the funny thing is, I kind of picked this book because I wanted to use my credit somehow. Because I wanted to get an add-on, but I couldn't get the add-on without picking the book that is coming out for that month. So I picked this, but I kind of did a little snooping through the book, and it sounds like it's going to be a great book. So it looks like a fairly quick read, too. I think it falls right under 300 pages, maybe. Am I thinking that wrong? About 315 pages, well, 316 pages. And there's already discussions about having a sequel. So, yeah, I might be reading this. Another book that I really desperately want to start reading, and I'm trying to get through everything else, is Frankly in Love by David Yoon. Everyone, again, has been talking about this book in the Book of the Month group on Facebook. A lot of people are anticipating this book. And the funny thing is, I was talking to a customer service rep over at Book of the Month, and they said the reason why my box is a little slow getting here was because this book. They weren't anticipating a lot of people requesting this book, and it turns out they got back ordered, so to speak. So, really looking forward to reading this at some point, whether it's this week or if it's not this week. And of course, it has yellow on the cover. It was just released. It could also be considered diverse, considering it follows the story of a Korean American family. So, yeah, think about that. That is something to consider. The next book that I am thinking about is I Stopped Somewhere by Tay Carter. I hope I said that right. This is actually a book that Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads has also recommended. So you can use that as a part of the challenge. It has plants on the cover, and it also talks about dark, hard-hitting content. So this follows the story of a girl named Ellie. Ellie is in middle school when she decides that she's going to try to blend in, like, essentially like the wallpaper, get the hint of the play of the bold print of plants and such. She decides she's going to try to blend in, and then something happens to her. She's assaulted. And of course, when she's assaulted, she doesn't get the recognition, or nobody notices, because she has essentially blended herself into the wallpaper. From what I've gathered from the synopsis, it's really detailed. It seems like it'll be very trigger heavy, so I am a little concerned about reading it right now, but I might just the same, because it has been on my TBR for such a long time. I don't think it was released this year. Let me double check. So I don't think it'll qualify for that. But Yeah, it was released in 2018. But it does have a few of those challenge factors that you could take in. And quite honestly, I think it would be a fast read. The only thing, like I said, that I'm concerned about is the triggers. So that's one thing that you could consider as well. The next book that I am considering on reading is, I'm so excited about this book, and I've been like literally biting at the bit to read this, is Permanent Record by Mary H.K. Choi. And I believe, Chelsea, I'm giving you so many shout outs here. I believe Chelsea was also the person that introduced me to Mary H.K. Choi, because she read Emergency Contact. And that was like the first book that I read that really wanted me to start doing these YouTube videos. I really enjoyed the content of that book. It was such a beautifully written book, one of my favorite books of all time. This is his sophomore book. I'm talking music right now. This is the sophomore book of Mary H.K. Choi that she has just released. This is the book of the month edition. So it was released back in September. For some reason, I kept thinking August. It is a September release. So you have the illustrated cover. It's a 2019 release. I believe it has some diverse content in it. It follows the story of a college dropout by the name of Pablo Neruda Rind. Hopefully I said his name right. He works at the graveyard shift at a 24-hour deli in Brooklyn. And he is struggling with credit card debt. So, very heavy, content, being young and dealing with debt. I've had to deal with it myself. It is not a comfortable situation to be put in, especially when you're trying to make ends meet and you have to pick your sacrifices. In this case, it sounds like he had to sacrifice his ability to go to college. And then he ends up meeting somebody that is like a pop superstar at 5 a.m. in this bodega, and they start talking and learning about each other. So I'm really, really stoked about this book. I've been waiting for this book a long time. I just need to sit down and read it, just to be honest. So it's on the recommendation pile for me. I'm just going to see where life goes. The last book that is up for consideration is The Bookish Life of Nina Hill by Abby Waxman. And that's what it looks like. It has such a pretty cover. It kind of reminds me of my best friend because of the red hair and glasses. But anyway, I picked this book up kind of on a whim. I was at Joseph Beth and they happened to have a display. A lot of their booksellers there have been talking about this book. A lot of the girls there in particular have been discussing this book. And that's the reason why I absolutely love the local bookstores, because I feel like a lot of times if you go into the big box bookstores, they're not quite authentic or they don't know any particular thing about a book. Now, whenever I go into Joseph Beth, for example, if I'm looking for something and they don't have it, they always know what would be a good substitute. I was in there recently and there was a woman looking for a book around the 1800s. It was very obscure. She was looking for a novel about this. Trying to remember exactly what the content was. Something really obscure, really weird reference. It was in the 1800s. She was talking to the bookseller. The bookseller knew automatically what she was talking about. And she said, "Oh yes, I read that book. It is so good. Unfortunately, we're out of it. But here's a couple more books that I read that is right up that subject matter. And they're incredible. You have to read these." And not only did it get that person to look at a book they probably would never have picked up, they actually got a sale out of it. I don't know if Joseph Beth gets commission, but the thing that I really want to focus on is the fact that she just didn't pick out some random book she never read. This bookseller was really well versed in what the book was about, and she went through all the details, and you could tell she read the book. You could tell she was very passionate about the author. This is one of those cases. I was there looking around, trying to kill some time before I was going to meet with some friends. And I happened to look at this book, and I was kind of looking at the back. A bookseller saw me, came over. She sees me on a regular basis, asked me how I was doing. And then I was talking to her about this book and kind of being on the fence. And she started naming off other books. And she's like, did you like this book? Did you like that book? And she's like, well, in that case, judging by what you're telling me, I think this will be a good fit for you. Oh, here's a couple more that might be a good fit for you. Um, and of course, she didn't push me into buying anything. She just said, put these on the back burner. Maybe go to the library and rent these out. Give them a try. But I did went ahead and pick this book up. It's really an interesting little contemporary. Also, it has yellow on the cover, and it has an illustrated cover. It was released in 2019, I believe. Let me just make sure I am right. With paperbacks, it can be a little tricky. Yes, it was released in 2019. And it does talk about some dark subject. It's about a woman by the name of Nina. Nina is the only child of a single mother. She doesn't know anything else about her life other than that. She works at a job in a bookstore, and she plays trivia. She has a cat. These are all things that's like right up my alley. Everything's going perfect until she finds out that her father, that she knew nothing about, passed away. And then, if that wasn't crazy enough, she finds out she has all these brothers, sisters, nieces, and nephews all over the town where she lives. And that most of them want to meet her. And so it's like a shock almost. So it can be a little hard hitting. It could be a little diverse if you grew up with a 2-parent home. So it can hit those challenges as well. And she's terrified. And of course, as she's dealing with all this, as she's trying to unbaggage all this, she gets feelings for a guy that is the competing trivia team that's competing against her. She starts getting feelings for him as well. So many different cutesy things about this. I'm really looking forward to reading this. I might even read this one this week if I get the time. But yeah, if you read this, let me know. But it does hit a lot of your challenges that you're looking for with Contemporary-A-Thon, especially if this is your first time around. Now let's talk about the books I am actually reading right now. So right now I am in the middle of 2 books. The first book is The House of Salt and Sorrows by Aaron A. Craig. This is a 2019 August Book of the Month edition copy that I got. And it is the retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses. Now, I think I told you guys in one of my past videos I've been reading this. And I have. I love this book so much. I mean, the detail is just beautiful. It goes into so much descriptive detail about this village and about the characters. It's very dark. It's got that gothic, macabre feeling that I love in my books. The only thing is I haven't had time to sit down and really thoroughly enjoy it. So I've been reading a little bit of little pieces of it in between at work and of course at home. I meant to do that last night, and I had like a game night with some friends, and it just went on the back shelf. So hopefully I could get through this book this week as well. Setting myself up for failure. But I'm going to try. And the next book that I'm planning on trying to finish up before October 12th is Body Positive Power, because life is already happening and you don't need flat abs to live it. This is by an Instagrammer by the name of Megan Jane Crabb. Her Instagram handle is Body Posi Panda. I always forget, so I have to kind of look in the corner of this book. But this is actually a book that I selected for a book club that I just started in my Cincy Fatty book liberation group. I am so excited about this. This is the first time we're doing any sort of book club that's meeting on a regular basis. We usually have singular events, but this one will be bi-weekly. So this is our read for the month of October. I'm looking forward to talking to everybody about this book as well. So there you have it. That is all the books that I am either reading, thinking about reading, or recommending for this challenge, please let me know in the comments below if you guys are going to be doing this challenge. I look forward to Contemporary-A-Thon each time it comes around. I try to get involved if at all possible. And one thing that I do want to point out that the moderators, I absolutely love them. So the moderators are Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads, like I mentioned many times, Mel to the Any, and Julie from Pages and Pens, and then Natasha from My Reading is Odd. This is round 5 of the Contemporary-A-Thon, which is freaking amazing. I like I said, it blows my mind that's been going on that long. One thing that they all say, and I want to stress this out, if you are a new time person to this Contemporary-A-Thon world, if you will, is don't get stress about reading a bunch of books or reading 7 books for the week. It's not about that. It's just to get you reading a genre that maybe you have no experience with or very little experience with, or just taking time to enjoy something with other members of the community, the booktube community. So one thing that Chelsea mentioned in her announcement is if you can only read one book that covers all 7 challenges, that's awesome. That's great. We all have lives. If you can read 3, that's okay. You could double up, triple up, whatever you need to do to participate. Don't feel like you have to read 7 full books. That is not the case at all. So just because I am one of those people that I'm absolutely crazy and want to try to read as many books as I can doesn't mean you have to take on the crazy too. Leave the crazy to me. Come on. But other than that, that's all I really have. Like I said, leave your comments below if you're participating. If you are not on YouTube and you don't have a book channel or any sort of method of vlogging, leave a little list of what you're reading. I'm always curious to find out what other people are reading because that's the best way to discover any new books. Let me know if you do have a YouTube and put down your handle below. That way I can sit back and watch them to kill some time, when I do have the time at work. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.